Okay, 7th and 8th graders, I'm going to talk you through your assignment for today, Monday, February 4th. I first need to give you a little bit of background, and if you are in first hour, you can fast forward through this until you see me explain the next part, because you were here on Friday when I explained all this. The rest of you, second and third hour, you were not here if you were a 7th grader because you had your field trip. What we're going to be talking about today is the LED grid on your microbit. And so far, when we want to program the lights to show up, you have used one block of code. And that block of code that you've used is this one right here, show LEDs. And if you wanted a light to turn on, you clicked on it, and that particular light turned on the microbit. Okay, so you see my program here, and then on the emulator, those three lights are on. What we're going to talk about today is understanding how the LED grid is set up so that you can program these lights to show up when you need them to, but we're going to be doing it using coordinates instead of using this block where you just turn them on and off. Okay, so I'll show you what I'm talking about. So here's your microbit, and this represents the LEDs that we have on our microbit. There are 25 LEDs on the microbit. There's 5 across and 5 down. Each and every one of these LEDs has its own coordinate, and it's kind of like a graph in math. So what I did was drew on the board kind of an example, and hopefully it didn't get erased over the weekend. But each one of these X's represent one of the LEDs on your microbit. And the way that the coordinates are figured out on the microbit is similar to math in a graph where the X coordinate is represented horizontally and the Y axis is vertical. So what happens though, and what tends to be confusing, is they start with the number 0. So this section right here is 0, 0, okay? So it goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 for the X coordinate. For the Y coordinate, it goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? For some people, and for me in particular, this is difficult to get used to because what my mind tends to want to do is go, this is row 1, this is row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5. And you can't think that way. Your coordinates start with the 0. So 4 is as high as it will go even though you have 5 rows. So here's a couple of examples. If I wanted to light up this particular LED, the coordinate I would have to plot, X goes first and then Y, so it would be 1, 2. If I wanted to do this particular LED on my microbit, I would have to plot 3, 3. And then here's 2, 4. So here's another example. If I wanted to do this one right here, the coordinate would be 3, 1. Okay, because X is 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1. Okay, for the Y value. So that would be 3, 1. So it's written the same as on a graph. The X coordinate goes first, Y coordinate goes second. Okay, so what you're going to do is you want mypltw.org open and logged in. You are going to go to Lesson 1, okay, Lesson 1 Blink, and then you're going to scroll down to Activity 1.3. And today you're going to be working on the LED grid practice exercises. Okay, so you want to click there. And what you're going to do, this is a 10-point question section, similar to what we did earlier where you had to drag the answers onto a flowchart, but this time you're dragging answers onto the LED grid. So for example, on this first one it'll say drag this to the correct location. So we are looking for X coordinate 0, Y coordinate 4. So here, I would drag it here and then hit next and I'll get my next question. You will get 10 of those. Once you fill out all 10, then the submit button will be activated. You can press that and it'll tell you how you did on the 10 questions. Okay, just a heads up, They get rid of this for you, the headings that actually show you X0, X1, X2, and so on. These headings go away somewhere around question 6 or 7. So you got to make sure that you understand how to figure out the coordinates on your own. Okay, so you want to do this. Pause me until you finish these 10 questions and then come back to the video so I can tell you what to do next. Okay, once you have finished the 10 questions, you are now going to do some coding in MakeCode. And your instructions, we are still on activity 1.3. You are going to do numbers 2 through 6. Okay, I'm going to talk you through getting started real quick, and then you can read and work through the steps. But essentially what you're going to be doing is you're going to be coding your microbit to look like this. So these lights are going to be on, and you cannot use the show LED block. You have to use these types of blocks. You have to plot and put in the correct coordinates to turn the lights on. Okay, so you're going to want to make sure you have MakeCode open. Please, please, please save your file like this. Down here where it says Untitled, you're going to call it your last name, ACT for activity 1-3. Okay, you cannot use a period in your file name. It will mess up. The computer then will not know what type of file it is if you use a period. So your last name, ACT 1-3. And you'll start with the on start block, and then in the LED drawer, you're going to be using plot X and Y. Okay, so you're going to be switching back and forth between MakeCode and mypltw.org. So the first thing you're going to want to do is plot these in so that your design, your lights are lit up just like this example. So you can really start wherever you want, but you will have 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 5 across the bottom. You'll have 10 plot X and Y's in this code. So to start off with, I'm going to start right here on this one. So I'm going to count over my X, 0, 1, 2. Then I'm going to count down my Y, 0, 1. So I know right here, in order to turn this light on my microbit, I'm going to plot X2, Y1. So I'm going to switch over to MakeCode. My X is 2, my Y is 1. Okay, and then you can see there it is. Okay, so you're going to go back and you'll continue the other 9 plots. Okay. You may want to pause the video now and then come back to me when you have finished all 9 plots. Okay, so once you've finished all 9 plots, what you're going to use now is the unplot command, and what that does is it turns the light off. So they tell you to hollow out the pyramid to make it look like this picture here. So you're going to be unplotting 4 points. Okay. So I'm going to figure out which thing I want to unplot first. I'm going to count down for my X. It will be 0, 1, 2. Okay, so I counted across, excuse me. And then for my Y, I'm going to count down 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this particular one is going to be X2, Y3 to unplot. So I will switch back to MakeCode. Right now you should have 10 plot points on here. Okay, I just didn't complete this ahead of time. What you'll want to do is grab an unplot, okay, attach it below all 10 of your plots, and then you're going to put in the coordinates for the lights you need to unplot. Okay, so you'll have 10 plots, 4 unplots, and then you're going to turn this in for me. So I'm going to talk you through how to turn it in. If you want to finish the assignment first, you may want to pause me and then come back to how do I turn it in. Okay, when you are ready to turn in, there's only one way that you can turn these files in that I can look at them. So please make sure you do them this way every time. So To turn it in, I'm going to choose Share, and then I'm going to choose Publish Project. I'm going to hit Copy, and what this is doing is copying this link right here. And then you're going to switch back to our Google Classroom. So you guys are first hour. You're going to go here to the assignment, and now mine's not going to look like yours because I'm your teacher, but yours will allow you to open the activity, and it will have the Add button. So you'll choose Add and then Link. You'll paste this link in and then hit, I believe it says Add or Submit. I can't remember for you guys, but the important part is that you remember you add and then you use the link. You cannot do Add File. File will not work. So always use Add Link. Okay. Once you've done that, it's going to look like, if it looks like this, Cameron turned his in on Friday, so I can use it as an example. If it looks like this, where the Make Code logo is here and you can see the purple up top, then you have it turned in the right way and I will be able to see it to grade it. Okay. So once you get it turned in, then for the rest of the hour, what you need to do is finish your 4 Make Code tutorials that were due on Friday, if you need to. If you are already finished with those, then go directly to your code.org course and continue where you left off. And I will see you tomorrow.